Welcome to the Marketing Department LB webinar, Get Your Marketing in Motion. And here you see the main page of Marketing Department website, and you click on the webinars page and you can see a number of webinars that we have completed so far. And all of these webinars have to do with finding the low-hanging fruit to get your marketing in motion. Because the whole idea of this webinar series is that when it comes to marketing, it's like so many other things. You can't steer something that's not in motion. You got to get it in motion. And so a lot of people are, businesses may wonder why their marketing is not improving and moving forward. Well, if you're not taking any actions, if you didn't take any actions in the last 7 days, for example, in your marketing to move your marketing forward, chances are nothing's happening. If you do take actions, you get the marketing moving forward, then you can begin to tweak activities. You can tweak your search engine visibility. You can tweak the content on your website. There are so many things that you can dial into analytics, see where your website stands. You can look at your networking and just see, how many new people are you meeting? How many relationships do you have? How are you nurturing these relationships? But the key is you need to take a step to get your marketing in motion. And so this whole series is based on low-hanging fruit tactics. These are tactics that are very simple, that can get your marketing moving forward so that then you can begin to adjust and make changes and refine your marketing. So today, our focus is, our presenter is Katie Waechter, Watch Media. She's the copywriter of Marketing Department LV.com. And here you see I'm mousing over her page. Each one of these presentations that we have created has its own blog page, and it presents who is the presenter and what's going to happen in this presentation, and then a video replay link appears right in this spot within a couple days of the webinar. So all the previous webinars have video replays. You can watch all of them. Well, this one is on copywriting, and Katie Waechter is our copywriter. Just to give you a little background on Katie, she was born and raised in Las Vegas, graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology from UNR, will be graduating with a master's degree in information, or I think she might have already graduated. You'll have to update me, Katie, on that. A master's degree in information science from UNT. She's been writing since the age of 12 and has over 15 years of combined experience in creative writing, technical writing, social media marketing, and content marketing. Her passion is to help other businesses in the health and wellness industry reach their ideal audience through effective online marketing and quality content creation. And I understand she has begun to work in other industries also, and has quite an involvement in the legal industry at this moment. So more to Katie than just the health industry, but that is her primary love and focus. Katie is a published poet, published author in local and national magazines. She's educated in holistic internet marketing theory and specializes in organic growth through engaging content and interactions with your ideal audience. Katie has a 10-year background in health and wellness writing, including research and consumer information, which makes her particularly qualified to help businesses in the health and wellness industry, and now also the legal industry and a few other industries. Katie, would you like to add to this, to your bio, update us what's been happening recently, and then go ahead and take over and help educate us in copywriting.
Hi, David. Thank you for having me. Yes, I'm. Thank you for that warm introduction as well. I am happy to be here and to update everybody. I did graduate with a degree in information science, so that did happen at the end of last year. And since then, you're right, I've also made some transitions by working in the legal industry. I've had some background also working in the financial industry, the mortgage and real estate industries. So all these industries with a really high level of compliance, and it requires people to come in and write really high quality content that doesn't give out misinformation, right? But also is HIPAA compliant or compliant with whatever their industries are. So that's kind of the specialty. And with that, I can definitely go ahead and get started. Does everybody see my screen?
I see it.
Okay, sounds good. Just wanted to make sure. So yes, today we're going to talk about how to communicate with impact. And in that, we're really going to dive into what are all the different services that I offer within the marketing department, the different services that you can think about when it comes to copywriting, to content writing. It's actually a lot more involved than what people realize. And in many ways, it is that low-hanging fruit, because if you just take that time to start writing for your business or to delegate that writing for your business, then that content coming out every single week or every single month will be highly beneficial for you. And it doesn't take a whole lot of effort other than just getting started. So let's do that. Here we go. So here are our objectives. We're first going to go over types of content writing, but then we're going to really jump into the power of these different copywriting services. And we're going to be focusing mainly on marketing services, because that's what we're here talking about today is marketing and how to make that work better for us. And then we're going to end with a Kickstarter special. So it'll be my newest special coming out. So I'm excited to jump into that as well. But first, the types of written content. So there's all sorts of different types of written content. When you go online, no matter where you're at, you're going to see words. Any website you're on, YouTube videos that have been properly transcribed are going to have words. And so website content is a huge part of what I offer within the marketing department and what we offer, here at Watch Media Group. We also do a lot of content marketing, which are blog posts, a lot of email newsletters. We also specialize in writing ebooks and in writing social media posts, along with glossary and product descriptions, course materials, press releases, print material, and scripts or speech writing. So today, like I said, for the purposes of this speech, we're going to go over our marketing-focused content writing, because that's where we're at. And just on a quick note, print material is not dead. And so just because we all look online, print material is still very much so an important aspect of our business when we go out to different events. So definitely something to keep in mind. All right, let's move right ahead into the power of effective copywriting. So essentially the way that I explain copywriting or content writing to people is that content equals credibility. Your business has a higher level of authority, and it looks more credible if you have high quality, unique content to back it up. Coca-Cola spends more money on content creation than it does on television advertising. And we've all seen the Coca-Cola television advertising, the really high quality commercials with the bears during Christmas time. You know that is not an inexpensive job, but they're spending even more money on content creation. And I think that really says something. 58% of marketers said that original written content is their most important digital asset. This is true because if you create or get high quality content created for your business, nobody can take that content from you. It's yours, it's unique, it's original, and it represents the education that your business can provide others. So it's really important. 82% of consumers feel more positive about a company after they've read custom content because they know that they have the education to back up what they're saying. And search engines are more likely to pick up websites with SEO-friendly, unique content. So Google is not going to like it if your website is covered in content that came from another website that's plagiarism. And Google prefers you to have keywords. They want to know what your website is all about. So if you have a website that's up and it doesn't have good quality content that includes keywords, then that is your very first step to moving your marketing game in the right direction when it comes to content. All right, so let's move on to the power of content marketing, blogs. Now, blogs aren't for everybody, but if your business has something to say and a lot of topics can be talked about in regards to what you have to tell people, the education you have to provide, then blogs can be an excellent decision for you. Long form content, and that's blogs that are 3,000 words plus, can get shared more often than short form content. Now, people are surprised by that, but the truth is long form content has staying power. So maybe that short form content will come out that has that clickbait title, right? And everyone clicks on it and maybe shares it for the next 24 hours, and then it's lost in the noise and nobody will ever see it again. Whereas long form content, high quality content that really educates your audience on what your business is all about, that's going to stay around a long time. It's going to get shared over and over and over again. And it's going to probably make its way to the top of Google. And when people start searching the question that's related to those blogs. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. However, blog traffic generation will increase up to 30% after you post at least 24 to 51 blog posts. So that's why I have that little picture up here of this guy walking back after he's almost reached the diamonds. This is just a perfect example of people or organizations who start blog posts, don't see any results, and then stop blog posts before they've even reached that 25th blog. That's because they really didn't give it enough time to work. Content marketing takes time to really work and see the benefits. And this guy up here is going after it. 72% of marketers say that content marketing increases engagement, and Google tends to favor large sites that have a lot of high quality content. And the best, easiest way to do that is through a blog. So if you're going to create a blog, it's good to have it be consistent, right? And to make sure that it's high quality, it includes keywords, and it's SEO friendly. So then that way Google will pick it up along with your audience. All right, let's move on to the power of email marketing. So some people will also claim that email marketing is dead, but that is far from the truth. Approximately 90% of US adults use email. And consumers tend to prefer that brands email them versus go after them through their social media or their text messages. In fact, 40% of consumers prefer that brand emails be more informative and less promotional. Meaning your email shouldn't just have a big picture that says, hey, 10% off for Black Friday. It should have a little bit more information that your audience is going to want to read and gravitate to. Users are twice as likely to sign up for a brand's mailing list than they are to interact with that brand on Facebook. Further, a message is 5 times more likely to be seen in email than it is via Facebook. So we all think that Facebook is the king and we need to be on Facebook and all of our messages need to go through Facebook and Facebook alone. But our messages get lost in the noise if we do it that way. If we take the time to have a good, solid email marketing campaign going, then we can continue to interact with our users even when they stop seeing our messages on Facebook because Facebook's changed their algorithm again, right? It can be frustrating if you only rely on Facebook when email marketing is right here in front of you. Another very easy, low-hanging fruit to grab onto and start interacting with your audience. Email makes money. For every dollar you spend on email marketing, you can expect an average return of $35 to $40. It says $38 right here. Some people are surprised by that number, but I've seen that statistic over and over again. So it's got to be true, right? Somebody's got to be doing something right. And email marketing is one of those things that if you do it right and you do it well, it will make you money. All right, let's move on to the power of ebooks. So ebooks are a huge market. Of course, books are still alive, but ebooks offer you an opportunity to interact with your audience in a way that books don't. 266 million ebooks were sold in 2017, and I'm sure those numbers have gone up since then. The opportunities that you have with ebook creation for your business are really unique. Some of that includes excellent marketing material. When you have an ebook created, you own all of that content. You can take that content, share it in different ways, different formats. You can also create a level of residual or passive income if that ebook is good quality, right? And if it's at least, I would say, 50 pages before you start charging for the ebook. And you can charge something as low as 99 cents, $3.99 if it's a really great ebook. And you're going to get that passive income for months and months and months to come. If you have a smaller ebook and you're not going to get passive income from it, then you can get a website lead generation. And lead generation is huge, right? This can give you the emails that you need to set up that really high quality email marketing campaign that we just spoke about. So if you have a 10 to 12 page ebook on your website, that'll bring people to your website. It'll keep them on your website. If they're interested and if it's good, then they're going to fill out their information, including their email address, and they're going to go ahead and download that ebook, right? And then if it's high quality, they're going to keep that ebook and share it with people. So it can lead to a really great domino effect. Also, ebooks are excellent audience education. If you're in a line of business where you find yourself constantly needing to educate your audience on the same topics, then an ebook is a great way to go. You can pass it out during events when you're speaking. This shows off your authority and establishes your credibility, which is huge when it comes to industries where you do have something that you need to educate audiences on, which include these, industries that have these high compliances, such as healthcare, legal, financial, etc. So the power of ebooks is more than a lot of people realize, and it's something that's up and coming, right? So you're not in a position where everyone around you has an ebook. But a lot of people around you do tend to have podcasts these days. So an ebook is an opportunity to be on the cutting edge of a new marketing opportunity that a lot of people really aren't thinking about. And so definitely something to think about moving forward, ebooks. So let's move on to the power of social media management. So I no longer offer social media marketing within the marketing department or with Watch Media Group, but we do continue to offer social media management. And what that means is that we're writers. We're really good at writing, and we will write your social posts and post them. And that takes the time off of your hands from having to think about it or having to do it. If you're looking for more of a marketing campaign in which you're wanting to do engagement, you're really wanting to build the audience, you're wanting to use Facebook advertising, then that's kind of stepping out of where we're at the moment. So definitely the Las Vegas marketing department will handle that. But as far as what I offer, we're focused on writing really high quality posts. And so with that, let's jump into some of these numbers. Facebook has 2.4 billion users. That's a whole heck of a lot. They're still at the top of the game. They're still number one. Everyone complains about Facebook, and for good reason sometimes. But Facebook is still number one, and we have to acknowledge that. Instagram has 1 billion users. The majority of those users are under the age of 45. So if your audience is in the millennial crowd between the ages of 18 and 35, then Instagram is where you want to be. LinkedIn has 630 million users. I will say that a high percentage of CEOs and bosses, business owners across the country have a LinkedIn profile and have more than 900 connections on that profile, meaning they are active on LinkedIn. So if you want to be talking business to business or engaging with business owners and high-profile CEOs, LinkedIn is where you want to be, and it's where you want to be posting. And you're not going to get lost in the noise as much as you would with Facebook when you do post on LinkedIn. Twitter has 330 million users. And not only that, but another 500 million users visit Twitter every single month that don't even log in. So Twitter is incredibly active. It has a lot of posts happening every single day, constantly talking about the next trending topic. And it's a good place for us as business owners and marketers to do a little bit of research on what's trending, right? Because that's really useful information. So another kind of low-hanging fruit opportunity. Go check out Twitter and see what's trending. Apply that across all of your marketing game. So as I mentioned before, we offer social media management. Social media management equals brand awareness. People are not going to pay attention to your brand if you're not posting regularly. If you go in and decide to do a social media marketing campaign and that doesn't include regular posting, you're not doing it right, flat out. Facebook is not going to give you as much attention. You're not going to be able to make as much, get as much views per dollar. So it's actually going to cost you more money if you don't participate in the social media posting game. Social media engagement means networking. So when you go out and you network with the world, you are not expecting them to do business with you, right? When we go to networking events, we're not shoving our business card in everyone's face saying, hey, look at me, buy from me. So that's not how we should be approaching social media engagement. We should approach it in the same way we do networking, where we're communicating with people who we're naturally attracted to, who we want to say something about, who we have something in common with. And then that leads into a relationship that then can be taken off of social media and into the business world in order to make a customer or a client. Social media ads equals prospective leads. Social media ads does not equal guaranteed leads. And that's because, or leads that turn into sales. And that's because there's a lot more to the sales game process than just the ad. Oftentimes people will sign up for a social media ad on a form and then not follow through, and that can be for various reasons. So this is something to keep in mind as you do invest money into social media advertising. Make sure that your business is prepared for it and is ready to back up what people may be wanting or expecting to see when they do follow the process through your social ad. So that's the power of social media management. It's incredibly important to post consistently. And if you're looking for high quality posts that are posted on a regular basis without you having to worry about it, then that's something we here at Watch Media Group through the LV marketing department can take care of. Let's move on to press releases. So I'm sure that the majority of our small businesses have not used press releases to the degree that we should have. 78% of content marketers incorporate press release services into their content strategy. They do this because they know that journalists use press release as their #1 way of finding stories. Every morning, journalists and press people will wake up to hundreds of emails in their inbox telling them about various news stories, and it is up to us to provide those news stories that they want to click on and that they want to share. The cool thing about press releases is that it's essentially free copy, and all the newspapers, websites, magazines, radios, TV stations need it. They need press releases. They need to know what's happening in the world. And if we provide that to them and it's something that is valuable to that particular organization, then it'll be valuable for us and it'll be free press for us, essentially. Because of their nature, press releases are meant to be copied and pasted. And so although press releases may seem daunting to write at first, there is a process to it, and we can easily walk you through that process or do that press release on your behalf. So you don't have to walk through that process, and make it in a way that it is shareable, that people will want to read it and will want to share it with their sources. So that's the power of press releases. And I want to, challenge each one of you to think about, a way that, or an opportunity that you could have written a press release this year that you missed, and an opportunity that is coming up that you think a press release would be valuable for. And I'd love to talk to you about that. So let's move on to how to build a content creation strategy. That's what we're here for, is to really see, how can I take this and apply it to me, to my business? Maybe we don't need to be using all of these platforms, everything that I mentioned above. Maybe your business doesn't need a press release, but your business does need something and content related, because people need to know what your business is all about. So let's kind of go through the steps a little bit. So first, you got to define your audience. This is true with any campaign, email, social media, content marketing, print even. You don't want to waste your dollars unless you know who your audience is. You need to determine the best platforms for your audience. So as I mentioned, maybe press releases aren't best for your business, but maybe they are. Maybe email marketing isn't best for your business. Maybe Instagram is where you want to be. Do you need to be on all platforms all the time? Probably not. It'll drive you insane. I'm sure it'll drive you crazy. But if you think strategically about where your audience is hanging out and the best way to reach them, then the best platforms are gonna start popping out at you. What platforms are they on? Go there, see what they're talking about. Next is to research the competition. There's no use reinventing the wheel, right? You see what somebody else is doing, they're doing it well, you take it, you make it your own. You don't need to do something completely different. You know that works, you just want to not completely copy them, right? You want to make it your own. You want it to represent your own business. So see what the competition is doing. Is it working? Is it not working? What can you do better? Set goals. There's no reason to have a campaign that doesn't have goals. Be consistent. So I talked about this at the beginning, but if you take on a campaign, a marketing campaign, and you stop halfway through, you're never going to know what could have come from that campaign. You want to be consistent, follow through all the way to the end and see what the numbers really say. Track progress with insights and analytics, and refine based on those analytics. Refine based on what's working. What is your ideal audience attracted to? What is the blog post that got the most attention, or the social media that got the most attention? You want to use Google Analytics to track the back end of your website. You can use Yoast to help you with blogs, with getting blogs uploaded in an SEO-friendly way. And then, of course, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn have analytics metrics that you can analyze. And you want to make sure that you choose an email marketing software that also has analytics. Most of them do, most of the good ones, the big ones. Last but not least, keep going. It's important to really keep going through the process, tweak things when necessary. Marketing is not an overnight success most of the time. You have to be consistent and persistent and see what's working, make the changes where necessary, and keep going, essentially. So these are kind of the big cornerstones of how to build a content creation strategy, or how to build any marketing strategy, right? These are the things that we need to know going in, so we're not wasting dollars or time. So let's jump into my Kickstarter specials. I have 2 of them. So the first is going to be one blog article from 300 to 500 words on a theme of the client's choosing, provided with a stock image, keywords in SEO-friendly format, and it will also include 1 week's worth of social posts that complement that blog. And by 1 week, I mean 3 social posts will complement that blog. So 3 social posts along with 1 blog article. The value of this is $600. The price for LV marketing department and for anybody working with LV marketing department to get started is $300, excuse me. And then my last Kickstarter special goes back to ebooks. Ebooks are so important. I really want people to understand the value that they can bring. So one 10 to 12 page ebook typically costs me $1,500. And for the LV marketing department and all working with the LV marketing department, the price is going to be $900. So that's a $600 discount. The 10 to 12 page ebook will be delivered in PDF format that is ready for website uploading, and the content will include everything that's included in a regular book, all the value that you have to provide that I have taken and written in a way that is easily digestible and organized so your audience can understand it, along with a short client bio that will go at the very end of the book. So, with that, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm not sure if I talked through that too fast. So definitely happy to chat more about anything that maybe I missed or didn't speak enough on.
Very excellent, Katie. Wow, that is a lot of information, but at the same time, we can go back over this and look at the various elements of strategy and tactics that we could apply to a business, and taking any one of these elements, for example, just creating an email program, that gets you moving, that gets you in motion, or just creating a PDF download that can generate contacts for that email program. So there's a lot just to go back. Now, let me ask you a question. This might help make this more understandable. If you could take one industry or one particular profession, it could be a massage therapist, it could be a legal office, take one profession and just brainstorm. Give us some ideas how that profession might build out a content marketing strategy. What might
Sure.
they do?
Yeah, so we could take something really easy. I kind of want to go back here, right? So we can take something really easy, and we can take any profession, right? But I'll go ahead and take a personal trainer. Because it can be for businesses big and small, not just for big. So a personal trainer, that's a relatively small business. Some of them are very successful, right? And some of them are really pulling in high quality clients, but they have to educate those clients. Maybe they have a special program. Maybe every morning they wake up and they take a special drink. Instead of repeating that over and over and over again, they can take their knowledge and write it down. So first off, their website should include all of the services that they offer. Maybe they offer services for people who are just getting out of physical training. That's something that's special that personal trainer offers. That should be included in their services page. Maybe they also offer something for seniors. That's another thing that can be included on their services page. But then they also want to include their about page. So their website needs to be built out, right? So people can recognize who they are and what they offer. But then further, they have education to offer. So they can take that education and create weekly blogs that will go out to their audience that their audience is going to want to see, right? So it could be how to maintain your weight through the holiday season to keep it trendy and timely. It could be, what are realistic New Year's goals for weight loss? Because let's face it, we've all had those. It could be something as simple as, how to get the Thanksgiving weight off, how to work through, a leg injury, right? Here are some stretch tips. Here's some stretch ideas. So the list can go on and on for personal trainers and the blogs that they can offer. But then we take that one step further. People don't know that the blog is being put out if they just put it on their website and don't announce it to the world. So they want to be using an email marketing campaign to take that blog and tell people, hey, new blog posted, maybe post, the first paragraph of the blog, right? So it gets people engaged in the blog, and then they want to click on the link to keep reading, the continue reading link. So this gets people to open your email, to click on the link through your email, all very good stuff. You get into your website and then to click on links within your website, right? To check out what that blog was all about, along with announcements. Email marketing would be really high quality for a personal trainer. Maybe they have a New Year's special because they know that it's going to, the people want to make a difference in the new year. They want to get them right when they're thinking about it. So they have that special coming out. They would use that in their email marketing. Further, then they can take their blogs, right, and they can turn that into an ebook. They can make an ebook that really focuses on exactly what it is that they're trying to talk about. So ideas for who email on blogs should go to. So you mean like ideas for your your audience, like where the email is going to?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, then that's ebooks, right? So you have something on your website that someone has to download, and in order for them to download it, they need to put in their website, or they need to put in their email address. They can't access your high quality information unless they do put in your email address. There are other ways to collect email addresses. You can do Facebook campaigns. When you go out and do events, whenever you speak at events, you should always have an email, a list, or basically a piece of paper that you can collect emails with. The audience and the customers for personal trainers, I'm not a personal trainer, right? So you'd want to be talking to your client, to our clients, to see what is their audience and what are the best ways to engage with them. So the personal trainer who do the notifications of blogs go to? So then in the email marketing, I'm sorry, it's really split up the way that you're talking. It's hard for me to understand what you're trying to ask.
All right, let me ask it this way, Katie. The reason I was doing this is because there's a lot going on here and I didn't want to disturb you.
Right.
Now we have a blog, and you indicated that that's really only a portion of the process. What we have to do is let people know that that blog is up and there and get it to people that would be interested in it.
Right.
So the question is, what is the audience to get those blogs to, and not the blogs, but the notification of the blogs and the mechanisms for getting it to them?
So it depends on what your audience is. A personal trainer is going to try and reach out to their audience. So they probably would use something like Instagram or Facebook and emails. Would they use Twitter? Probably not. Okay, but maybe somebody who's running for politics, they kind of need to be on Twitter. So it depends on your industry is going to determine what platforms you're using to get your message out there, right? But you can use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, emails, Twitter. You can, use advertising online. You can do print materials that say, go to my blog if your audience is a print material kind of audience. So it varies, and so that's why I said at the end of the PowerPoint is that, I'm walking through this with a personal trainer, but A personal trainer doesn't need to use all of this. Can they use all of this? Will they benefit if they do? Absolutely. But if they only half-ass it, then they're not going to benefit from any of it. So maybe they don't want to do a blog. Maybe instead they just want to do the ebook. But the ebook, if they make it, a short ebook, then it's going to bring in email addresses if they set it up on their website, right? And if they have email addresses coming in, then it would behoove them to do an email marketing campaign. If they're not ready, then that's fine. They don't need to do it. They just keep collecting those email addresses until they're ready. So every industry can benefit from every aspect of this, but it depends on where you're at in your business, who your audience is, and how much time and or effort you have for your marketing game. The fact is all marketing requires content writing, all of it. Even when you do videos, you need to have a description under your video that includes links and keywords and tells people what that video is about. So no matter what you do in marketing, you need to be thinking about what the words are saying. So I was going through examples of different services, marketing services, and how the words are important in that, so the content marketing, the website content creation, the email marketing. So the personal trainer is just an example. They can go through this all the way, or they can do bits and pieces of it.
I think one thing in particular that causes businesses to go in a direction that's not as productive when it comes to defining your target market is that they think in terms of their services. And when you think in terms of your services and you go from your services and your offerings to creating your message, it's going to be much more general. Flip it around and start with the needs of your market. And for example, a personal trainer, if they think in terms of their services, oh, I do, I don't know, weight training. Well, that could be for anyone. But on the other hand, if they think of their audience and needs, they might think, okay, men who are 50 and older who want to retain their muscle mass. Now you're starting to focus in on an audience. Where do you find those men who are 50 and older? What organizations are they in? You begin to build an email list of those individuals that are in that target. And now you've defined your audience. So if you think in terms of your audience and their needs, as opposed to your services in particular, that might be an easier way to niche your market. Okay, Richard's asking, how do you find that audience you are describing? Well, if we're talking about and I'll make this really short because this is really Katie's webinar, but if we're talking about men who are 50 and older, where do you find them? That could be in, they're probably professional groups. There might be seniors organizations, and I'd look at senior centers. I'd look at YMCA, or organizations that cater to those groups. And I'd make a contact with those organizations. I'd speak to those organizations, do a presentation, as Katie mentioned, pass around a clipboard, get email addresses, offer your PDF, and have people give you their email addresses for that. Anyway, that's just the start of thought. Maybe Katie, you have something more you could add.
I mean, sure. So essentially, it's just what I often get asked questions about social media and these kinds of questions about where to find your audience. And the truth is the answer is it depends. It depends on what your industry is and who your ideal audience is. So my industry is content writing, right? So I'm in marketing, I'm in writing, but my ideal audience oftentimes are people in the healthcare space. So I'm not, networking all over the place. I'm networking specifically with organizations in the healthcare space. I'm talking to people who are related to NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, because that's the passion, right? So there's just no one size fits all answer as far as where to find your audience, because you got to take that and wherever your audience is, you go to them, so not everybody's hanging out in the same place. Yes, I am a member of Las Vegas Heals. Yeah, definitely. So that's a great example, so I wouldn't recommend that everyone be a member of Las Vegas Heals, but if your audience is in the healthcare industry, then, totally, do it, consider that. So yeah, definitely it can be a challenge, but as you go along, you'll find where people are converging.
Katie talked about you have to define your audience, and that to me is the key element for figuring out where your audience is and then creating the audience. He said you've got to define that audience. So and that means really putting some brain power to figure out what are the main characteristics that really helps you build an avatar for your ideal customer. And part of it is figuring out all the characteristics, all of the traits and the personality, the whatever of who your ideal customer is. So if in Richard's case, he does videos that are higher end videos, and it's going to be for more of a corporate kind of a client, then who's the buyer for that video? Who is the ideal person that's going to make the yes or no decision on that? And then where do you find them? Well, you're going to find them on LinkedIn. Katie talked about LinkedIn being one of the better places if you're a B2B kind of a business. Then more CEOs and corporate executives are going to be in that LinkedIn environment. So LinkedIn has groups that are in it. Maybe you find groups within LinkedIn where these people are going to be interacting, and you go spend some time in those groups and answer questions and build relationships and do those kinds of things. You might find them on Facebook in groups, but LinkedIn would be my first bet. Where else do you find them? Maybe you host events. You host webinars or something where you're targeting those people specifically, and you get those people to come to your webinar and you collect their information, so that now you're truly building a list. You have to build that list in an environment that allows you to communicate with them easily and quickly at the push of a button. So it's, she's right. It depends on what your business is, but the key element is defining who your target audience is, who is your avatar, and then putting some brain power behind figuring out where are these people. Are they at the conventions that come here to Las Vegas? Then maybe you should be a speaker at one of those conventions so that you're educating them on what it takes to create these videos and how can they get their video production done, and how can they select the right company to do their video. There's probably lots of opportunities like that where you go do those kinds of events, speaking engagements, LinkedIn, webinars, whatever, that will allow you to capture some of those people. That's my 2 cents.
Yes, that's great advice, Stan. That's really great advice. How can we get these webinars to target audiences in current form or in ebooks? What do you mean? This webinar series? I mean, we'd have to think about who our audience is, and then get the webinar in front of them. So, that's something for us as a group, I think, to discuss as the marketing department is, how to get these webinars in front of people. I don't think that's a question I can just answer in the presentation.
It might, one thing that we might look at is, first of all, we have Katie's webinar today. And Katie's webinar is an example of content. And so now we have some beautiful content on copywriting. We create a blog article for this. We take the webinar replay video, we put it at the top of the blog article. Okay, now we have some really awesome content. And I think Richard's question is then, how can we take this blog article that has this awesome content and then broadcast it to the people, get it in front of the people who really need it? And one approach would be to identify a specific target. Anyone who has content like this blog article is, has this great content. Now they need to identify who needs this content, who they want to serve. And so we would look for those potential clients and then tweak this content for those audiences. And if it was a health and wellness audience, we could tweak this content as Katie did just a moment ago. You saw how she went through the entire presentation in terms of, okay, what if this was a health and wellness fitness trainer? And all of a sudden it came to life for that market. You can do this with any content. You can take this general content Katie has provided and you can focus it to a particular audience and then get it out in front of that audience. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think that it's important, as Richard is saying, that we try different marketing avenues and see what's working. So it could be useful for us, and we should be posting our webinar links, all of our webinar links on social media, for example. And honestly, because it's Facebook, it tends to get lost in the crowd. And so if you're not going to boost the post and do some more marketing other than just posting to Facebook, then you're not going to get a whole lot more response other than the few people who see it on Facebook. So that's very true, Richard. And that's why I think that us as a group, should discuss our marketing efforts outside of the PowerPoint that's focused on copywriting. So with that, thank you for listening to me. If you have any other questions, definitely reach out. My name is Katie Waechter. You can email me at katie@watchmediagroup.com, and also follow me on social media to reach out. I'd be happy to talk to anyone. Thank you so much.
Katie, that was excellent. I think that does give people, anyone who listens to this webinar, gives a basic map, a roadmap for how to get their content marketing program going. And from there, then just tweaking it, increasing the effectiveness,